So, hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for taking time out in what may be your holiday week, or like Karen in America, it's 4:30 a.m. or it's lunchtime in India. Thank you. I'm so grateful. And thank you to Priya, who actually is hosting this and who asked me if I would do a Zoom. And I couldn't say no. Um, I'm very grateful to be asked. So, really, the purpose of this Zoom is maybe to answer some questions that you've had about Happy Mouth, and maybe you've already listened to all our free Zooms that we do. We've done so many, or not. What I have done, I've been very efficient. I'm putting it in the chat. Is the link to the 3-day class that's coming up in a couple of days' time. And if you wanted to know more about that, I've given you the link there in the little chat box. So if you'd like to ask me a question, you can unmute yourself, I think, and ask, or you can write a question there. And often we get a lot of questions, so I will try and answer them all if I possibly can. People still coming on. Yes. Okay. So, Priya, do you have some ideas of where you would like to go with this, rather than me just starting talking? Because once I start, I'll just keep going and going and going.
So I think one of the first thing is a lot of people have curiosity about what this happy mouth is. So we would really like you to talk about
What
what
it
this
is.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Okay, so first of all, who am I? I'm Shauna Teakin. I'm the worldwide coordinator for Happy Mouth and a Happy Mouth facilitator. And I had been a 3-day Access Consciousness 3-day body class facilitator for about 5 years, and an Access Consciousness certified facilitator for 8 years, and which was wonderful, and which has expanded my universe in amazing ways. And while doing that, about 5 years ago, I found Happy Mouth because I was having a lot of problems with my own teeth. Um, Problems ranging from decay to impacted wisdom teeth, all kinds of hideous and horrible things going on in my mouth. And I was looking for alternatives, not so much as in herbal medicines and diet, and because I was aware of that, but some other way. I've always known, probably like many of you, that the body has these natural capacities to heal and regenerate itself. And why does that not happen all the time? Why is that not something that we do spontaneously? So that when I heard about Happy Mouth, it just went bing, this guy is talking about what I've always suspected is possible for the body. And you may have a similar bing too when you hear what I have to say. So that was about 5, maybe coming up to 6 years ago, that I first heard Dr. Tom Colso, the American dentist. He was being interviewed by Gary Douglas of Access Consciousness at the time. And it was an amazing call. What he basically said was, and this is the basis of Happy Mouth, is that the state that your teeth, gums, and jaw are in right now is not totally because you're a bad, lazy person and you eat too much sugar and sweeties and lollies. And it's not because you're a dirty person and you don't clean your teeth. And it's not because you're a poor person and you can't go to the dentist. There are many other factors at play here with the state of your teeth, mouth, gums, the whole of the mouth cavity. There is a lot to do with emotions, belief systems, points of view in our culture, in our families, in even our religions, in the way that we grow up, and the things that we've been conditioned to believe. So, Happy Mouth, whoops, there's another person coming on, addresses the purely physical, number one, because it has to be said, you still need to clean your teeth. You still need to be flossing, and you still need to go to the dentist every 6 months and have a checkup and see how everything's going. I still go. I'm going On the 20th is my next 6-monthly checkup. That's just good, kind nurturing for your body. And if you or your children have a resistance to cleaning your teeth, if it's like, oh, it's a chore and it doesn't matter, I'm going to go to bed and I'll do it in the morning, Happy Mouth may well change that for you and for your children. Why? Because one of the things that we open up in Happy Mouth is called the receptor responder systems. And these are all about receiving. They're about receiving more awareness, more information, more pleasure, more happiness, and more fun. So the body actually sees or feels you cleaning your teeth with the softest toothbrush you can find as pleasurable. Your body actually really enjoys that. And you will will start to enjoy that too. This soft, and may I even say sensuous, massage of the gums and teeth with a soft toothbrush becomes something that you enjoy doing. You realize that every time you do it, you are actually, it's almost like doing a meditation on the health of your mouth and gums every time you clean your teeth. A really big thing that we find, and please excuse me because this is going to be a relatively short Zoom, and I'm probably going to try and pack everything I can think of into the short time we have together. Totally forgot where I was. So as you're cleaning your teeth and enjoying it, as you're using a very soft toothbrush, and at the end of this, I'll send everyone our list of things you can be doing right away to change the health of your mouth. You'll be getting a toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride in it and doesn't have glycerin in it. Your body will enjoy that as well. Ah, yes, a very big thing. If you desire to change anything about your teeth, gums, jaw, mouth, you have to stop judging what you have right now. Anything you judge, you can't change. The more you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, look how old I look at my wrinkles, oh, look how fat I'm becoming, the more of that you actually get, the more of it you create. The same with your teeth. If you're looking in the mirror and going, oh, look at my teeth, and judging them and telling yourself again and again all of the problems, you only get more of the same. Instead, what I suggest you do as soon as this call is over is get a piece of paper, write down the things you would like to change about your teeth and gums and jaw. And it may be as simple as, I don't want to be in pain anymore, or I don't want to lose another tooth, or I don't want to have to go spend thousands of dollars at the dentist. Write it down and then change it into a question. So I would put down, so body, what's it going to take for us to have lovely, pink, luscious, healthy gums? Instead of writing, I hate my receded gums, I have bad gum disease, write it as in the form of a question of what you would actually like to have. And that's actually the first step to change. Okay, that's a big tool or a big tip there. So that every time you look in the mirror, instead of going, oh no, you could go, okay, body, show me what's required to change this. What else is possible here for us? And you will hear me say lots of things that if you've done any of the Access Consciousness classes, you may well have already heard. Yes, we do use a lot of the energy tools of Access Consciousness. Why? Because they work. Why would you not use them? They're fabulous. And if you have not done any Access Consciousness classes, that's okay. You don't need to have done that to do Happy Mouth or to get the benefit of Happy Mouth. You'll pick it up as you go along. So there's a couple of tips for you. Get the softest toothbrush that you can find, an ultra soft. Take a little time to gently caress your teeth and gums. Really, at least 2 times a day, if not 3 times a day. Get some floss and start flossing. and those little lovely little brushes you can use in between your teeth. Okay, there's a big tip. Another big tip is to get a toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride or glycerin in it. Now, glycerin, would you believe it? It's in a lot of mouth care products, has actually been shown to break down the enamel on your teeth. Now, who needs that? Nobody needs that. So there's something you could be doing right now. Then getting out of judgment of what you've got and asking your body to show you, body, show me what's required. Now, your body might have brought you to this Zoom tonight. Your body might bring you to having some sessions with someone so that you get to clear up lots of your points of view about life. What do I mean about that? Well, tooth decay can be because someone hasn't cleaned their teeth or doesn't clean their teeth. It's true. Tooth decay can be because someone eats too much sugar. Absolutely. And you know, sugar doesn't just have to be the obvious form of what we in Australia call lollies or sweeties or chocolates or candy. Sugar can be in lots of foods. Starchy food, breads, pasta, rice convert to sugar in the body. This makes the body quite acid. So really, you could be changing your diet if you dare. You could be having more fresh vegetables. You could be having more good quality protein, whether it's vegetarian or animal. And you could be cutting back on the starchy things, the sugary things. And it has to be said, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, whatever you call those sugary soda drinks in your country. They are one of the major problems for our teeth and gums. We actually should have, and some people still do have, little microorganisms in the mouth which will eat the plaque, and that's that stuff that builds up on your teeth that eventually hardens like a rock and you can't get it off, and the dentist has got to pick it off or drill it off, calculus and plaque. You have little microorganisms that should clean that up for you. But guess what? Usually they've been killed off when we're quite young. And there are some amazing people around who still have their microorganisms doing that for them. How do you know? They just seem to have lovely white teeth and not much decay and not many problems. In societies where people eat a very natural diet, you find that. Some children, you find, have amazing teeth despite whatever they're eating. And other children have a lot of decay, even if they've got a good diet and clean their teeth. So let me wheel it back a little bit. So tooth decay can be from physical causes. It can be from not cleaning your teeth, not going to the dentist, from eating too much sugar. But the major cause of tooth decay comes from the gums first. If your gums are not healthy and well, it leads to tooth decay. If you have any disease or bacteria trapped in your gums, that starts to attack the teeth too. So what begins the gum disease? Energetically speaking, gum disease really is about how you feel about making choices in your life. If you are someone, and I'm sure this doesn't apply to anyone, including me, that when you have to make a choice about something or a decision, you think about it over and over and over again. You overanalyze it. You lay awake at night and think, now, if I choose this, and you try and imagine what will happen if you choose that. But if I choose this other thing, what? And you go through 100 different variations of what will I choose? This is really perfectionism. This is really trying to get everything right. It is being afraid to make a mistake. Because if you make a mistake, oh my goodness, what might happen? In reality, if you made a mistake, you could just choose again. And it wouldn't really be a mistake because you would have learnt something. You would have gotten more awareness. So if you're someone who is always overthinking, overanalyzing, going over things in your head and your mind all the time, that is like an ideal situation to have gum problems. The other part of the gum problem thing is you may be on the outside seeming to be a very agreeable person, but on the inside, you're actually rebelling secretly against everything. That you're a kind of secret rebel of the universe. And the only way that you feel that you can have your own life, your own reality, your own existence is if you choose against what other people are choosing. And we mostly do that, it has to be said, with our parents. As a child, if you had quite controlling parents, the only way you could feel that you are you and know you is to say no to your parents. And maybe if you said no too many times, you got a smack or you got punished. And so you learnt to say yes, all the while going like this. Yes, but holding back in here all of your rage or anger, or your, not even rage or anger, it can be just your desire to express yourself, to be heard, to feel valued. So now we come to one of the biggest energies. And please don't be worried if you do the 3-day Happy Mouth class. We spend a lot of time on all these energies and clear them. The first day is a lot of foundational clearing. That over time, that holding back on everything you'd really like to say, all of the things that are important to you, does create a lot of stress, a lot of tightness, a lot of holding back in the jaws. It affects the gums, it wears the teeth down. Oh my goodness, creates a lot of problems. Paula is asking me, would I like to talk about how happy mouth processes may improve other parts of the body? Well, I could, but as happy mouth is about the teeth, mouth, and gums, I'm really going to focus on that. And yes, Paula is correct. Any changes that you make in the bones, the gums, the tissues of your mouth will change the rest of the body, because the mouth is the gateway to the health of the body. And that's known from many, many natural therapies. With the mouth, digestion begins. With the mouth, many diseases in the rest of the body or disorders can be traced to what's going on in the mouth. So thank you, Paula. That was actually a great question. Yes, your life too. So come back. We've already gone advanced. I would say that the basic underlying energy that happy mouth changes is where you don't feel valued, or you might call it self-love, where you don't feel that you can be heard, or that you don't feel that you can receive everything you'd like to receive. And this shows up very strongly in our teeth, our gums, and our jaw. So that is one of the underlying energies that seems to clear itself very well as you get the points on your head run. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Happy mouth is kind of a 3-part system. One part is looking at all the energetics of what creates the disorder in the mouth. So that could be fear of going to the dentist. It could be a trauma from this life or another life to the mouth, the teeth, the gums. It could be about food for you. It could be about speaking out. So we look at all of those energies and clear them. The second part is that we have points on the head. And you may say, oh, I know about points on the head because I know access bars. Access bars is probably my most favorite de-stressing, youthening, anti-aging tools ever. I get my bars run often. However, happy mouth is different. Happy mouth points on the head, you actually touch them, and quite often you push them or rub them, activate energies in the body. Access bars dissipates energies that have been locked in. Happy mouth activates systems in your body which should be up and running and functioning quite well. For example, if you chip a tooth, a little piece of your tooth breaks off, or you get a hole in your tooth, your body should receive that information, respond by remineralizing that tooth and regrowing that part of the tooth. It may take a few months. It can take up to a year if it's quite a big piece of a tooth. However, the body does have a system to deal with that, which should be operating. For most people, it is not. For example, if your gums are starting to get receded as you get older, that means pulling away from your teeth. Your body should receive that information and respond appropriately by replenishing the gum tissue. If you lose a tooth, either it's been knocked out in an accident or you've lost it through decay or it's just worn down, your body should receive that information and have already begun to grow a new tooth up to fill that space. But these systems, for most people, are not fully functioning. The happy mouth points must be stimulated by another person to get those systems fully activated again. And it takes 21 days of someone touching those points every day for 21 days to activate the system for you. It has to be another person. The person does not have to be a certified practitioner of happy mouth. It can be your mum. It could be your son. It could be your friend. We have, I don't think I've got my manual here. When you take the class, you get a manual with charts, diagrams showing you where the points are, instructions on how to find them. It's very easy to follow. We allow you to show that to your friend and say, will you rub these points or touch these points for me? Each point only gets activated for 2 to 3 minutes. So a whole happy mouth session takes about 15 minutes. You actually never run all of the happy mouth points in one session. That's too much for the body. In every happy mouth point session, there are some points we always run. The receptor responder points, they're 2 points way back here. We always run those. Why? They open up the systems of responding and receiving. Receiving awareness, oops, tooth chipped here, respond, must repair tooth. What we have found is that when you open up your receiving to that kind of bodily awareness, you also open up your receiving on all levels. And I have to apologize that one of the side effects of getting your happy mouth systems activated is that you will have more of everything. Yes, people's money flows improve, people's general health improves, your relationships improve, your liking of yourself improves. And happy mouth is actually a youthening system, not anti-aging, because we're not against aging, a youthening system for the body. We actually have a point, all the points are mirrored. If there's one here, the same point's on the other side for the youthening system to be activated. And that's rather wonderful. One of the major reasons that our teeth wear down, decay, fall out, our gums fall away, is that we all pretty much believe that you've only got so many years on the planet, and each year that goes by, your body is getting older, losing vitality, losing flexibility, losing energy. And even though we eat well and we exercise and we take vitamins and we have massage and we get our bars run, we are still fighting the effects of time. We do a lot of clearing in Happy Mouth so that you can actually get to the point where you see, oh, my body actually has a natural capacity to generate itself fresh all the time. Actually, your skin is always doing that. Your bones are always doing that. Why doesn't the rest of your body do that? So Happy Mouth is about getting those systems activated, but for your part, you really have to look at, what are your belief systems? What are your points of view? How much are they holding you back from what's actually possible for your physical body? Our physical bodies were designed to live a very long time. Everyone that's listening right now and who's going to listen to this in the future, your body can grow 2, 3, 4, maybe more sets of teeth. That's just your natural birthright. There's nothing I've done or anyone else has done to create that for you. That's what you have. Now, why would we need that? Why would the body need that? Well, if you're going to live a very long time, mostly you will find that just from the natural wear and tear of eating, your teeth will wear down. In the day-to-day existence, you'll have an accident. A tooth might get chipped or knocked out. You may need a surgery. You may have some decay. But if you know that you can always grow a new tooth, it also means that you can keep eating the lovely, crunchy, chewy foods that you need for your body to be healthy and youthful. It's a little different now that we have modern dentistry and people can get fillings and caps and implants and dentures. But if your teeth are not well, if you're missing teeth, if your saliva is a very poor quality, your digestion is going to be very much affected. And you may not be able to chew well so that you're eating quite soft, mushy food like baby food. And or if you may be eating great food, but your body's not digesting it well. And digestion is really a key to health. Now, I know a lot of what I'm saying will be familiar to you. Happy Mouth is just putting it into a different context for you. So the 3 parts of Happy Mouth, the working with the points of view, the energetics, the belief systems, a lot of it is about the past. A lot of what creates jaw problems, wearing down of teeth, gum disease, gum recession is hanging on to the past, wishing you'd done something different, resenting something that happened, regretting something. You may be familiar with those energies from Access Consciousness where they're called the distractor implants. They actually don't allow you to be present in the moment, open up to the energies available to you and say, oh my goodness, what a beautiful day. What else is possible today? If you're always leaking energy, I say it's like you're always leaking energy back to yesterday, last week, 50 years ago, 10,000 years ago, you can never be fully present in this moment. So clearing those energies means that you can be present. And when you are present, you start sleeping better, you start digesting better, you feel a lot happier randomly, and it's almost living in a different world when you are no longer held captive by your past. So the 3rd part of the system is we have quite a few of our own hands-on processes. We have hands-on processes to get a new tooth or teeth to grow, to activate. That's the tooth bud activation process. We have a hands-on process for receded gums. We have a hands-on process to change or heal a broken or chipped tooth. So we have quite a number of hands-on processes that are specific to Happy Mouth. So there's the energetics and the verbal processing and the clearing, the activation of the points on the head. And once those systems are activated, you don't need to run the 21 days again for that particular set of points. They're activated. And then we also have hands-on processes. So what shall does someone have a question so I know where to go next? Hello. Bagla Lakshmi, hi. Yes, dental implants. We don't, in Happy Mouth, we say there's nothing wrong with having a dental implant. If your bone density is strong enough to support it and your gums are healthy and well, you could have a very good result from a dental implant. So if someone is planning to do that, Happy Mouth will really make it so much more efficient, will be a great contribution, and that implant will have far less chance of being rejected by the body or getting problems later. If you've already got a dental implant, that's a tooth that's actually been screwed in or put into your jawbone, Happy Mouth will make sure that you keep it and keep the mouth happy. Okay, so there's no problem with having a dental implant. If you wish to grow a new tooth, you must have a vacant space for that tooth to come through. As far as your body's concerned, if there's a tooth there that's healthy and functioning, whether it's got a crown on it, a filling in it, or it's an implanted tooth, or even a root canal tooth, your body's happy. It is we who judge our teeth and go, but this one's crooked, or this one's got a filling. I want it to be perfect. The body doesn't care. If it's functioning and healthy, your body's happy. So the same thing with fillings. If you have to have a filling, don't get a silver filling. We talk a lot about how the toxins, the mercury in the filling is always being outgassed into your body, and it's quite toxic. Yes, I do prayer. I can do that in just a moment. So we say if you can, and it's quite costly to do, eventually get your silver fillings replaced with the porcelain. The white composite porcelain fillings they're using these days, your body's okay with those. It's not the ideal. The ideal would be to run processes and remineralize that spot, which I have been able to do. But Happy Mouth is not about judging what you've got, judging what you've done, what you should have done and could have done. It's about how do we make the best of what's going on right now. So how does Happy Mouth work for a root canal? Someone has asked me. That's a great question. A root canal is a dead tooth. It's a mummified tooth. So you've had a tooth and it's died. The root has died. And so what they do is they clean out, and teeth, have got points. They hollow out and clean out all the dead pulp because it may be putrefying, decaying. It can be infecting your whole body. So the dentist or the surgeon cleans out the interior of that tooth, and then they pack it with packing material and they put a crown on top. That's a root canal tooth. That's okay, except they can never quite be sure that they're 100%, they have 100% can't think of the word, disinfected that cavity. If you have one tiny little speck of infection there, that can be working away to really undermine your health. So if you've got root canals, you don't rush off and get them all removed. Okay, with Happy Mouth, your body's ability to fight infection is going to be improved. Your gums are going to be healthier anyway, so you've got a better outlook with your root canal teeth. What we say is if you're planning on growing a new tooth where the root canal tooth is, it takes 2 years for a new tooth to come through. It takes 3 years for a child, but for we adults, it's quicker because our jaws are already big enough. A child has to grow a bigger jaw for a bigger tooth. So about a year into that 2 years, you've had your tooth bud activation, and then in 2 years' time, the new tooth is going to appear. About a year in, you go and get that root canal tooth removed to wait for the new tooth to come through. But for many people, if you've lost a front tooth, you may not want to go 2 years with a blank space waiting for a new tooth to come through. So you've really got to weigh up what works for you. Do you want to get an implant? Can the dentist do something for you to fill in the space? It's totally up to you. Okay, I will come back to the stories of change in a moment. Does anyone else have some questions about? Okay. No? So, stories of change. Oops. Okay, good. You're welcome, Prashant. Yes, we have had one of our practitioners here in Australia ran a 21-day set of sessions for somebody who had gum disease. She had bleeding gums when she cleaned her teeth, pussy gums, not in a good space. Her dentist was quite worried because if your gums are diseased in this way, you know the next step is you're going to start losing teeth. You're going to have decay. It all starts with the gums, which is the foundation. And if your gums have got problems, then it's going to end up causing your bone density to be not so good and your teeth get loose. So you have to start with the gums. So they ran some of the points for gums for that 21 days, receptor responder, which we always run. And then we have 3 other points which are to do with increasing your clarity and awareness. Now, it's really important to have more awareness, more clarity, and more, let me call it, intellect or smart about what you're creating with your choices. It's not really about going back and seeing what did I do wrong in the past. It's more about saying, oh, I need to make some changes here. What changes would be the greatest contribution to me? So this girl had, her gums were in not a good space, and we have this as a testimonial. I can probably dig it up with names on it. And during the 21 days, her gums stopped bleeding. That's fairly unusual. Often you will have a 21-day cycle of points run, and it may be some months before you really see changes in the mouth. Please remember that Happy Mouth is not going to Hogwarts Academy. You're not going to get a magic wand that goes bing, your teeth are fixed. We are living in a physical reality, and sometimes it takes time for the body to remineralize and grow. Yes, miracles can happen, fast things can occur, but sometimes it takes some time. But this lady had wonderful results within and continuing after the 21 days. For me, that's quite remarkable. If you told a dentist that, the dentist would say, oh, it must have been a coincidence, because dentists don't believe anything's possible. In my own case, and you've probably heard this a million times, I'm sorry for being boring, but originally there was no 3-day class to go to. Happy Mouth was taught as a series of telecalls, and I had contacted Dr. Tom, told him all my problems with my teeth, and he said, buy the telecall series. So I did. I listened. I was so taken by it that I actually transcribed the 6 calls. It took hours and hours. My mother and I ran the points for each other. I contacted Tom. I started working with Tom to develop this whole thing. 6 months down the track, I had other things going on. I had impacted wisdom teeth before Happy Mouth that I had removed. One of the first things we say is get a dentist that you like. I was forcing myself to go to a dentist I didn't like her. I felt judged by her. I was in hideous pain every time I went. Now that wasn't kind to my body. I changed dentist to this lovely lady who just is so kind and caring. My body can relax. I go to her. Okay. The impacted wisdom tooth had killed the tooth next to it. And I had root canal therapy for months and months and months with the other dentist. It was agony. We couldn't clear the infection. Every month I'd go back and she'd say, well, we can't really do anything else. There's still infection. Here's another prescription for antibiotics. Another month of antibiotics. Go back to the dentist. No, I had this ongoing infection and I did not feel well. We have a body process in Happy Mouth that Mum ran on me. My mum's online now. A couple of times, can't remember, for 1 hour, maybe 2 or 3 times. The infection went. That's all I can say. No more infection. I started to feel really well again. Wow. That was so fantastic in my world. 6 months later, new dentist. I actually asked my body, do you want to hang on to this tooth? And my body said, no, let it go. I was trying to save it. I was spending a fortune on it. Let it go. New dentist. And I say, okay, I'm ready to have my 6 fillings that my last dentist told me I needed. She took x-rays, she showed me the x-rays. There are 6 places in my mouth that I have decay. And she said, you don't need any fillings. And I said, yes, I do. I was arguing, I've seen the x-rays. I saw the black spots. She said, you do not need any fillings. There is some spots in your mouth that we will watch, but no. And I came out of that appointment with the dentist like, how is that possible? So clearly it had taken 6 months for my body to remineralize from when I started having my 21 days of happy mouth. And I was, pardon the pun, gobsmacked. Like, I'd been listening to Happy Mouth, but to actually have it work so amazingly well was amazing for me. Why do you think it worked for me? Well, one is I wasn't focused on whatever it takes. I'm not having those fillings. I was not in resistance. I just thought if you have to have fillings, you've got to have fillings. I really didn't think Happy Mouth could change that. So it was like, okay. But I was also willing to go with Happy Mouth and see where that leads. So please come to this with a sense of wonder, with a sense of, I don't know, this is exciting. This is cutting edge stuff or creative edge stuff. This is of the future. Maybe Happy Mouth is 20 or 50 years in the future, but I want to be a part of that. So if you've got that sense of excitement and not whatever it takes, I'm never going to the dentist again. And you would be surprised how many people have that energy. No, I'm not going to the dentist. Come on, guys, relax a bit. There may be some trauma to let go of there. So that's one of my stories of change.
So Shauna, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Karen, go.
What I'm noticing lately is that my teeth are yellowing when I smile. I'm noticing my smile.
Okay.
And at one time I had remembered Dr. Tom saying that yellow teeth are actually stronger teeth. But I'm having, I think, some kind of judgment or some awareness. I'm not sure which one. Is there any way to like maybe remineralize?
Well, if you look at my teeth, everyone, they're very yellow. And they've never been super, super white. My mum has pearly white, beautiful teeth, so I can't blame her. But the color your teeth are is a result of what your mother ate when she was pregnant with you. You can change the color of your teeth, but it's very slow with Happy Mouth. Very slow. Yes, super white teeth are softer and more prone to decay or enamel wear than us yellow teeth people. Yay for us. And I have asked Tom about this and he said, get them bleached. I'm like, what? No way. How can you say that? He said, it's not a problem for your body. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I've learned to, now that I'm not in pain, now that I can sleep at night, because for years and years I was in so much pain with my teeth and it was just horrible. I'm so grateful that now I don't have that worry and that I like cleaning my teeth, that it's like any day is a bonus day with my teeth. The fact that they're yellow is, who cares? I'm 62 and my teeth are yellow. Oh, well. It's probably more important in America where everyone likes super white teeth, but here in Australia, it's okay. So I don't know, what else is possible for you, Karen? And I would like to ask all of you, what are you aware of that's possible for you? Don't be limited by what I say or what I do. What's possible for you? So what does your body know? I'm putting it over on you. Like, we are the beginners. We're the pioneers of this. That's the other thing that I'm looking forward to and doing with Happy Mouth is training or assisting people to become facilitators of Happy Mouth, because I just can't do it on my own. And Tom can usually only travel 3 times a year when he can travel. So we need to get people out there facilitating these classes. So what do you know, Karen? And I'm going to throw a question at you. Truth, does it even belong to you, the yellow tooth thing?
No, thank you.
Yeah, because if you have a capacity with something, if you have a talent for something, you will tend to be at the effect of it until you acknowledge fully. So, for example, if I have, or Karen has, a capacity with healthy teeth, with youthening, with not aging, with all of this, we will tend to have people around us who need healing. And you'll be pulling it out of their bodies and reflecting it in your body. I mean, I married a man with terrible teeth. And and it wasn't until after we split up that I started, 20 years with him, that I started having all these teeth issues. And I think, well, it was his fault. No. But, how much is it that you actually have a capacity for healing that may be to do with the mouth, or with not aging, or with the mouth is about expression, with talking, with singing. It's about eating with joy. It's about so much more than just your teeth. But if your teeth are giving you trouble, that's all you think about. I know. That's all I thought about. So, thank you.
Thank you, Shauna.
You're welcome. So, does somebody else have something they would like to ask?
Thank you
Oh,
so
yes, I
much.
did.
I mean, that was more than what we heard. I mean, I've done the class, 3-day class, and listening to you was like, did I do the class? I think I'm listening to it again
Well,
with very fresh perspective, so it's different. So
thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Well, you see, if you take the 3-day class with me, of course, I'm going to facilitate it my way because I'm different. But when you take a class with me, you also get the 3-day class recording of Dr. Tom. So you
Wow.
get him basically reading you the manual of his manual,
Yeah.
and covering all those wonderful points. When you have me, I do a lot more facilitation because I enjoy that. And we're just different, So how's it get any better than that?
Yes.
So,
Forward.
yes, I am live streaming on the weekend in India, in a time zone that works for India. I hope you all realize, because it's going to be 2 p.m. for me here in Brisbane, but I think that might be 9:30 a.m. in New Delhi. So you have no excuse not to join me, because but there's people in America on, there's people in Australia. And until we can travel again, this is the way it is. But you know what? I've been finding for the last year, it's actually more, in many ways, more potent to do it online. Whatever that is, we have our own clearing statement in Happy Mouth, which I forgot to mention. So if you're familiar with Access Consciousness, they have a wonderful clearing statement. And when I'm doing Access things, I use the Access clearing statement. But we have one that resonates more with the mouth, the teeth, and the gums. And let's just do a clearing. So everything, every energy that comes up for you as soon as we start talking about teeth, and in our society, teeth are a lot about your perceived status, your perceived beauty, your perceived youth. A lot is riding on your smile. The what I call the great white shark mouth, of white teeth that are huge, is kind of the fashion. And so everything that comes up for you when we start talking about beautiful teeth and a beautiful smile, and you're like, oh my God, I did. I actually dated a man. I never saw his teeth. Thank God I never kissed him, because teeth went this the whole time, because he had terrible teeth. I never saw his teeth. You don't want to ever, I wouldn't like anyone to ever be embarrassed of their smile. So everything that comes up for you, could we uncreate and destroy it all? Which just means, would you be willing to drop it? And then we say, from and to the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POC-VFs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof, ad infinitum, and all Mobius strips, may they be unwound, untied, and decimated through all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. Now, I'm happy to send that to all of you. It's a mouthful, I know, but what it does is it clears all of those repeating patterns that seem to come back. It just clears them. And so for that reason, we don't run clearing loops of happy mouth processes. We only usually run a clearing 2 to 3 times, and then it's cleared. For any process that brings up a lot of doubt for you, we have a special doubt process that we use, because doubt is going to rain on everyone's parade. You doubt whether you can actually grow a new tooth. You doubt if it will work for you and if it's possible. So we have a wonderful clearing about doubt. But if there's ever a process that a lot of doubt comes up for you, then you could maybe run that more times, maybe for 21 days. But there's an energy there that I wanted to address. What is it? So the 3-day class is intense, I have to tell you. We clear a lot of energies. We go really deep. You learn the points. You learn how to do sessions. At the end of the 3-day class, you're a practitioner. You can go out and charge money. And we encourage you to charge a goodly amount of money, a reasonable amount of money. Why? Because if you're going to be running 21 days in a row sessions for somebody, it's actually inconvenient. And you will get resentful because you've got to see that person on Saturday and Sunday. And you know what? You have to be recompensed. Oh, look at your kitty cat for that. Not only that, it is that most people will value what they pay for. And it doesn't have to be that way, but it seems to be the more, well, I liken it to whenever I do something nice for my body, that money always seems to show up again from another source. So if I treat myself to, getting my toenails done or having a massage or buying a new dress or even just a cup of coffee and a cake, it's amazing to me how the universe always rewards that kindness and nurturing of me. So whenever you spend any money on you, it's always going to come back in mysterious ways. Question. Yes, Karen.
So since we're doing these classes on Zoom, is there more information about, like, because sometimes it's hard to find people to practice with for 21 straight days. So is there more information on how much, if we do it writing the points on ourselves, is it just the 21 days or do we need to run it longer?
It's not recommended to run it on yourself. We never recommend that. And you will get some effect, of course, but for full activation, you've got to find someone. And it's amazing what you will come up with when you go, what's it going to take? And I know people have got lockdown and all that sort of stuff, and what's it going to take? I liken it to when I was a teenager, and if I was going out on Saturday night and I wanted a new dress, I would find a way to get that new dress. I'd work an extra shift at McDonald's, or I'd find a way. Even I had to borrow it. So you will find a way. People will find a way to get that money. And the commitment that a person makes to the 21 days, including yourself, brings the most incredible changes in your life just from the 21 days of committing, not even the changes that happen on your head. It's phenomenal. It's like it's the first time in your life that you're actually gifted something to you and you carried through on it. And the joy that brings to your body and to your world is immense. So really, Happy Mouth, it's aptly named Happy Mouth, Happy Body, really. Happy world. If more of us were happy and letting go of the past, we perhaps wouldn't be in the interesting space that we're in at the moment of change in the world. So, because it's on Zoom, so I'll be sitting here at my computer, but we will set a time every day. Usually it's after lunch, where I'll set up a massage table. I'll have someone on the table and I'll move the camera so you can actually see my hands on their head. And it'd be great if you had someone there that could do the points for you and you could do their points. Just because it's so much better if you can see, you've got the chart, you've got the instructions, but then seeing someone else put their hands on the head is wonderful. So we cover that. But what I would say to you is about doing a class this way, it means more information can come forward if I'm asked questions. We're all a bit of an oracle, actually. We're all, the information's there, but until someone asks it, it doesn't come forward. New information's always coming forward. And the wonderful thing about that class recording of Tom's that everyone gets to watch, that was filmed in India last year. And of all the classes Tom has done, that has the best questions of any class. Because, you know, the Indian people were thoughtful, educated. They just asked fantastic questions. And that meant Tom brought forward a whole lot of new information I haven't heard before. I was like, Tom, you never said that before. I've got pages of it written out. What? And he said, well, nobody asked me that before. I'm like, oh. Okay, so that is a brilliant resource. I'd be watching that, and well, I have watched it and made notes from it. And I've been to all these classes and still there was new material. So always ask me a question. And even, you know, they always say, if it seems like a stupid question, still ask it. There are no stupid questions. And I'll be asking you guys questions like I did with Karen. I'll say, well, what are you aware of? Because it's not like I'm the guru and you're the disciples. It's like we're all masters of this, but somehow we're pretending we don't know what we know. It's when we get together and start talking about it, it's like, oh, this information comes forward that you kind of knew but forgot you knew. Anyway, I've talked on too much.
Can I say something?
Yeah, who is it? I can't see you.
Yeah.
I've somehow messed up the view, so I can't see everyone.
I can see you, so that's okay if you can hear me.
Can you speak up?
Yeah. Oh, 1 second.
Let's Bhagya.
I've got you. I've got you. How are you, my dear? I haven't seen you for a couple of years.
Yeah, 1 second.
Hello.
Hi. Good to be here. Thank you, Priya, for organizing this.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Just very quickly, I was in that Delhi class. It was one of the best classes I have ever attended. And coming back from the class, one of the other participants and I, we did a 21-day session together. She was kind enough to drive to my house every day. I asked for some help with my gums.
Yes.
And she had some misaligned jaw. So we did it on the 20th day. I heard a click when we're doing the process. I asked her, did you feel the click? She said, no, I didn't feel any click. But you know what? I feel different. Something is different. Something got aligned. And as far as I know, it has not gone back.
Wow.
Being
Wow.
what it was. So I just wanted to share this with you. And it's good to see your mom, Shauna, and just as good to see you and all of you. The important thing is, like Karen was asking, can we do it ourselves? It's not a long session, but it still works when somebody else does it and we receive.
Yep. About
something, there is something about that, I guess, which is teaching us to learn to receive.
Yes. Yes,
And it
thank you
works
so much. And that, I love hearing that. Thank you. That's what it's all about. And it is about relaxing and letting your barriers down enough that you'll actually ask someone, would you do this for me?
Yeah.
That's what we resist. I know, I'm like that too. It's like, oh, I wouldn't like to ask someone. It's such an imposition and I feel a bit uncomfortable. But it is such a gift when you allow someone to gift to you. Not being received is the biggest limitation for people like us. When you offer to do something for someone and they can't receive you, they say no. Even when it's a cup of tea, you know, if someone comes to your house and you say, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh, no, I'm right. It's like, oh. You know, they won't receive you. But when you ask someone, would you assist me? And they say yes, they get to feel wonderful. So thank you. That's the whole point, isn't it? Where are we not willing to ask and receive? And then we go, I don't know why my money flows are not improving. Well, when we say ask and you receive, it's not necessarily asking for money.
Yeah. Good. On that note, can I share something, Shauna?
Well, I don't know. Okay.
I know we've taken a lot of your time. It's already
Oh,
8:30
it's
for you,
fine.
maybe.
It's fine. I've
Yeah.
eaten dinner already. It's fine.
Yes. I did 21 day session with one of my friend, and she's also here, and she can share what changed for her, but I can speak for her if she's not on camera or not on.
I can if you want.
She's there. She's there.
Yeah. So the 21 days commitment that you spoke about, it's so true because when I committed to those 21 days, not only I changed something in my mouth and something in my life and something in my business too, I I started committing to myself and my life more, and that itself was a huge change.
Yep.
So thank you for that, and thank you for all the changes that we've been receiving through Happy Mouth. It's unstoppable. They have not like 21 days and it's all done. No, it's still happening. We're
Yes.
seeing the ripple of change even now.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing that. And I too, it keeps rolling. It keeps on rolling.
Yes.
And how does it get any better? And the more classes you do and the more, I listen to things now from years ago, from Access and where have you, and it just goes deeper and everything goes deeper now, and more expansive. How do we get so lucky?
Thank you.
All righty, let's finish. And I have been recording. That's amazing. So everyone will get the recording. We didn't take people's names and addresses, and we didn't have a registration because we pulled this together quite quickly. So I will probably just post the recording into the main Facebook group. And if you don't get it, just pop me an email and I'll send it to you. It's not a problem. But thank you everyone for being on. Wonderful. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you, everyone.
Thanks
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.